You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, we're going to talk about Tom Brady because he was on with Stephen A. Smith yesterday, and he made some comments about some things that I think a lot of us probably agree with. Man, the quality of the NFL, the actual on-field product right now is not very good. And the NFL's decision to over-course correct after the CTE situation, I think they ended up paying out roughly $900 million and all that, was to, of course, hammer down on a lot of rules involving practices and a lot of rules involving, of course, safety. Every week, it seems like we see nothing the passer. We see it all the time. It's like, really? He literally grabbed him exactly like he was supposed to. He went to the ground. He didn't slam him to the ground. We've all seen it. It's horrible calls, and it is game-changing, altering kind of calls. All right? And the other thing is it's not working. All right? It's not working. Because I believe I heard this morning, literally on a podcast I listened to, I believe it was Bill Simmons, they were talking about 11 backup quarterbacks are playing. 11 backup quarterbacks are playing. So whatever it is the NFL thought it was hoping to accomplish by all this overcompensation is not working. Now, what led Tom Brady, the GOAT, to come out and make these comments is... it's my understanding part of it was the Kareem Jackson thing. He's in Denver. He's out 4 games. And look, he was a quarterback and an offensive guy, and Tom Brady hates the product right now. He says the NFL's product is mediocre, and he's not wrong. And he's talking about the fact that a lot of the greatest players of all time, especially on defense, wouldn't even be greatest players of all time now. They would literally infraction them out of the game. Yeah, I mean, they would be kicked out, removed from the game. I mean, Ray Lewis, Ronnie Lott are players that he brings up here. And we'll get to video from this, but it's certainly when you're and look, Brady is still the most popular far as actual notable, recognizable face of the NFL out there in the open, he is still that guy, okay? And which means Roger Goodell and the NFL might want to pay attention here, all right? Tom Brady is concerned about the current state of the NFL. This is CBS. The recently retired future Hall of Fame quarterback is not a fan of what he's seen during the first 11 weeks of the 2023 season, a season that has been somewhat marred so far by injuries, questionable penalties, and pregame scuffles between teams, to name a few things. We were talking about practice habits earlier. The tackling in the NFL is putrid. The tackling in the NFL is dog shit. It's terrible. And a lot of that has got to do with things like practices and the fact that they're just not out there getting the reps that they were once getting. I think also setting so many people during preseason. I think the lack of an extra preseason game and the act of not using it in the way they did years ago is a problem. All right? It's a problem. All right? Let's listen to this.
I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not? Why not?
I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. Mm-hmm. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott and guys that impacted the game in a certain way, and every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself? We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to the defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. That's the reality. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game, and I couldn't afford to lose a good player. I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL.
I mean, there you have it. And Brady puts a lot of this on the players. Look, yeah, you got to be aware of what you're doing. You understand there's certain throws as a quarterback that you can't make because, we used to say you run across the middle, wide receiver's getting his head taken right off. Everybody knew that, okay? And frankly, I can't remember so many quarterbacks just hitting the dirt and the ground and being out like this. It's crazy how many actual franchise quarterbacks, and it hasn't helped. All these rules hasn't helped. Not only that, but we're rolling towards what seems like flag football. And look, he's even said that at some points. Tom Brady has. That the version of the game is starting to not get recognizable, all right? And I understand the NFL did some of this because they wanted the offenses to go up, and they wanted to make all this money off of fantasy football. Well, that's great, but we've talked about the other thing, the elephant in the room. The NFL is king of ratings right now. You got a lot of fans, and look, I understand there's a section out there that think the people that believe the NFL is scripted or rigged is nuts. That's great, but 10 or 15% of all fans believe that. All right? That's a lot of money. That's 10 to 15 people out of every 100. All right? Start thinking about ratings. Major League Baseball used to be number one. Eventually, people are going to get tired of this game. They'll decide, this isn't the same. I'll go watch college. This isn't the same product that I want to consume anymore. This is awful. Oh, really? You called that? I'm done with this crap. I'll go watch college on Saturday. Nobody ever thought the NBA would fall like it has. Nobody ever, I assure you, in the 80s and 90s, ever believed the Major League Baseball would go down the toilet in the way that it has. But here we are. We're a nationally televised Yankee-Red Sox game on Fox can't even get 3 million viewers. I mean, it can't even get 2.5 million viewers. What am I talking about? I mean, they kill for 3 million viewers at this point. I mean, World Series ratings are literally drawing what NFL preseason games are drawing right now. And going back to the preseason being eliminated, look, it used to be the first game, all the starters played a half of first quarter. The second game, they played, a quarter into the second quarter. Third game, you played into the third quarter. And then, of course, everybody set that fourth. But it gave people reps. It allowed them to, real bullets flying out there. Tom Brady's right, and it's interesting because he's trying to become, and who knows, this may hurt his cause of trying to get that minority ownership stake that he is trying to get from the Las Vegas Raiders, by the way. But any team. Because this is, again, he's about to be a Fox Sports, their leading analyst at Fox Sports, Tom Brady. And he's out there, and he is not keeping his mouth shut. I mean, sometimes I can't even recognize the game that I'm watching compared to 25 years ago. It's crazy. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.